I moved to that farm because it's what I could afford. You know, I'm an independent. Like no banks would give me a mortgage. No, but nobody would get like I'm like an independent. I'm a freelance person. You know, I didn't have these restaurants. I didn't have all this shit when I bought that farm. I had like just me doing like Munchies videos and doing Vice shit, and like I was just a freelance independent contractor. You know, and so I bought that farm because I was just I found that farm. I never wanted to move back to my hometown. You know, it was just like one of those things where I was just like, why? Like, I need to be in Toronto. I need to make money. I need to grind. I need to hustle. I need to work, be in the city, you know? And it's just like what are you going to move back to Poughkeepsie? You know, or like, you know, like, what are you going to do? You need to be in Manhattan. You need to be, you know, like, what is it? Like, would you ever think that moving back home would be better for you? You know? So it was just like, and Trish and I are from the same place. So it's just like, we were just home one day and I was just like, I was frustrated. I was like embarrassed. I couldn't afford a house in Toronto, you know, like I couldn't. Like I was accepted for, I think like $650,000 for a mortgage. That's a 1-bedroom condo, maybe in Toronto, you know. So I'm like, I'm never gonna be able to afford. Like I was just like, you know, just bumming. And we were home, like during like Thanksgiving weekend, and I was like bitching to like Trisha's parents. I was just like, yo, just like co-sign a mortgage for it. Like help us out, you know? Like I just like, you guys have done well, you know? Like you've done well. My parents can't help us out, unfortunately, but I was just like, help us out, you know, doctor? You know, let's go. You got the PhD. Like, let's get it. And and he's like, nah. and I was just like, look what you could get for like, and then I opened up like one of those apps where like you could look at homes. I was like, look what you could get for down here for like whatever, like what, and then the farm came up, literally. And like the next day I called my sister whose friend was a real estate person, and then they contacted like a thing, and we went in, like it was a crazy thing. And it was just like this beautiful farm that like nobody wanted because it needed a lot of work.
How far is it from, I guess, like the city?
It's like now with traffic, it's like 2 hours.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's just like I spend like Tuesday to Friday in the city. Then I come home Friday night, and then I got Saturday, Sunday, Monday with the family, and then I go back Tuesday morning.
And you're sleeping in the city Tuesday to Friday?
Yeah, I just live I live at my friend's house, Marika. Shout out to Marika. Let's go.
Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna ask, how did Blue Goose Farm come about?
Blue Goose Farm was like, we were shooting my second book. So we were shooting my second book on the farm, and Keenan, I have like a couple chefs that help me out with my shit. And Keenan's one of those chefs. He's like one of my favorite chefs. He's the best. He's an incredible person. And I got a lot of yard. You know, like my backyard is like 6 acres. It's just grass. And then I have 6 acres of like forest. And then my front yard's like 4 acres. So it's just like I have this large property. It's this beautiful thing. And we were shooting the book, and we were there for like a week shooting my second book. And we were just like, you know, like it was just like great. We were having these like, you know, we're there making food. We're talking about produce. We're like talking about all this shit. And we're like, yeah, it's kind of criminal that like you can have this amount of land and not grow vegetables. You know, it's kind of fucked that you can, there's this so much land that's owned that doesn't actually produce vegetables. And we're just talking about it. And Keenan's worked on some farms. And then by the end of the week, we're like, let's make a farm. Like, let's grow vegetables. And I was like, if you can figure it out, I'll pay for it. You figure it out. We'll make it work, and we'll fucking make it work. And now we're in our like 3rd year. We're producing like 1,500 pounds of vegetables a week.
Wow.
100, yeah, a week.
Bugged all from your property.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And so we're selling to a bunch of restaurants. We're selling to my restaurants. You know, we put every week we put them in vegetables into like some community fridges up in the city, which is tight. And we're just learning. You know, like we're just learning. It's Keenan and Miles, Keenan's brother.
Yeah,
and it's just 2 people working the land, and it's like we don't use any. There's no like gasoline. There's no motorized vehicles. Like we do everything by hand.
Yeah.
Wheelbarrow, broad fork. Like everything is some real shit.